everyone. Let's see. Is this working right now? Looks like it's frozen on my screen. Let's turn down this music here. Let's take a look here. Let's close this for a second. Nice and bright. Why does it look frozen? Let's see. Oh, it's catching up there. Okay. Looks like we're having skip frames. Let's take a look here. A few seconds ago. Okay. Looks like it's moving on now. Just the one skip frames. Let me double check here. Make sure everything's running nice and smooth. Give me 1 second. How is it for everybody on your end? Is it nice and clear? Let's see. Okay, we're going. It looks like I'm just behind a little bit on there. Okay. All right, we're good. I'm going to leave my phone up here. I've got my computer. Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, so welcome everyone. We are going to be doing our digital live stream today. We're going to be comparing a couple apps. Let's see, who do we have in chat so far? Philip, hi Philip, he says, I'm ready. Rita, hi everyone, good morning. Kimmy, hello Tyler. Well, we'll see, this is a little bit, I realize I got my phone in the screen there. This is a little bit of a different, different stream, so we'll see how many people show up today. I think it's kind of a niche little thing here, so we'll see how many people are interested today, but it's very cool. Thanks to Philip. Pigment app shared our information on this today. We're gonna just do one quick announcement. Just a reminder, August 23rd, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. we're gonna be coloring in the Disney Thomas Kincaid Studios book, and we are going to be coloring this page. So if you are interested in Disney coloring, feel free to hang out for that. Let's see, I don't think I have any other big announcements coloring wise. Still working on my color charts. If you need color charts, they're in the files in the Facebook group. All right, so we are going to get started today. I have, you can download these apps on other things. We're covering the Procreate app and the Pigment app today. I have the iPad Pro. It's a smaller one. It's an older generation. Let's see. Oh, my coffee is right in front of chat. There we go. Let's see. We have Alyssa. Hello, Alyssa. And Christina. Hello. Gotta make coffee? Yep, that's why I was a little bit late. I was grabbing mine. Boy, it's hot. Ooh, hot coffee. Hi, Anne. Hi, Lorraine. Welcome. Okay, so we're going to zoom in so we won't have to worry about this little glare here. I know there's a way you can record it on, but I like being able to show you with the pencil and everything we're going to do. So my tools today are the iPad Pro. I think it's the 9.7 inch high RMB. And I also, what's the difference between donations and super chat? Where's the donation button anyway? If you do exclamation point, let's see, exclamation point donation. The difference is donation goes directly to, it's through PayPal, and whatever you donate is the amount, short of the very small cut that PayPal makes. That'll go directly to my PayPal. Super Chat goes through Google and YouTube and everything. There's a slight cut taken, so it's really just your preference. So, okay, make sure my screen's all good to go here. Okay, so let's see, is the donation thing not popping up? Let's give it a minute. Let's pull up my Nightbot here. 1 second, make sure that make sure our bot is working. Let's see, let's check commands, custom. Oh, you know what? I don't think it's donation. I think it's, yeah, I was wrong. It is exclamation point donate. Whoop, almost dropping the iPad. That's smart, Emily. There you go. Exclamation point donate. Sorry, I was wrong. It's exclamation point donate, and then that goes right there, and that goes through Streamlabs, which is the program that I use. Okay, so hey, look, that's my kitty. All right, so someone. Oh, look at me entering my passcode on. Gonna change that after stream. My bad. Professional streamer here. Okay, so I tried to set everything up because this is my own personal iPad too. So I tried to kind of set everything up so that, I don't, anyway. Okay, so I actually have a third app on here. It's popping up? Okay, perfect. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Beth Ann! Hi, Beth Ann. And Nellie, hello. Christina says, I'm going to lurk till I pass out. I worked last night, overnight, and have to work again. Have fun, everyone. Sounds good, Christina. Anyway, so what we have here is we have 3 apps. And I know today we're going over Procreate and we're going over Pigment. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see. Get this nice and in focus. There we go. So hopefully this will all translate well. For some reason, it's a little bit rough. So we're going to be going over Procreate and Pigment. Now, the only reason that I left Amaziograph on here, because this is also something I use in conjunction with Procreate and Pigment. And so before we get started on those two, I'm going to show you this real quick. It's a great, easy way. If you enjoy making mandalas, it's a great way to get started on creating your own coloring pages if you're wanting to color them in Procreate or Pigment app. I'm all set up to color, but no digital stuff. I'll just color it while I listen. Sounds good, Anne. Okay, so like I said, I have the iPad Pro, and so I'm not quite sure about all platforms for downloading these. What I do know is that these apps specifically are, I got off the App Store and everything. I heard a thing. Oh my goodness, Phil! Thank you! Can we get some cheers in chat for Phil for that donation? He says, thanks for doing a digital stream. That's amazing. Thank you, Phil. You're so wonderful. Oh, what a great way to start off the stream. Thank you, Phil. All right, so I'm going to show you Amaziograph here, and then we're going to jump into the other ones. But Emily, Autodesk Sketchbook is a good app. Oh, okay, I'll have to take a look at that. So if you are wanting an easy way to create your own coloring pages, this is Amaziograph. And what you can do is you can create, you can see right up here, mirror images, mandala, rotation, kaleidoscope. You can see I have a bunch. Here, let's just go to this first one here. I think I made this one the other day. You can see that I made a bunch of mandalas here. And the cool thing about this is that you can set it up to have as many little triangles as you want. So it's a great way. And you know, honestly, I love to use this one just to relax as well. So I use Sketchbook on Android and more advanced program Procreate on iPad, Pigment on both. Yeah, there you go. GIMP on Windows. All right, yeah. All right, so what we're gonna do, just so I can show you real quick, in case you wanna make your own coloring pages to bring into these other programs, I'm gonna show you just real quick, all right? We're gonna grab mandala. All right, so there's a few things that you can do. We're gonna zoom on in here, okay? So you have all your options up at the top here, okay? So if you go here, you can change the canvas size, but let's see, they actually changed this up on me recently. All right, so here you have all of these options, okay? You have draw with symmetry, you can show your grid, you can hide your grid, you can do more symmetries, which is all of those ones that we had selected up there. See, this is gonna be new, trying to keep this in here. You can do adjust grid, where it means you can turn it like so, if you want it in a little bit different angle. But the way that this works, essentially, you got your opacity up here, and you've got your brush pen size here, all right? So then what you do, I'm gonna zoom back out, okay, is it's a great way, now I'm not being very smooth here, to create quick mandalas. And honestly, I love to do this just to relax sometimes. I mean, you can do all kinds of shapes, all kinds of stuff. Sounds good, Jim. So anyway, if you're wanting to create your own quick mandalas, this is a great one to fiddle around with. Since this isn't our main focus today, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I did want to touch on it because I use this program a lot if you're wanting to create really intricate mandalas, okay? So, and this is called Amaziograph, all right? I think it's like $2.99 in the App Store. So, but it's just a one-time thing. It's not a subscription, which brings me to the next point. So, differences in Procreate and Pigment app. Pigment app, you can use it without a subscription, but you are limited as to your access to certain coloring pages or certain color palettes. So it is a subscription-based. Procreate is just a one-time cost. And so that's kind of the difference on those. So let's see. Let's jump into Procreate first. All right, as you can see, I've got a few of them up here. Hi, Victoria. I've got a few of these up here already that I've been working on. I'm gonna turn down this music here. I feel like I'm talking over it. There we go. Okay, so you can see here I was actually working on a new color chart because I'm re-putting together my color chart booklets. Hi, Rochelle. We are doing our digital stream today. Okay, so we are gonna open up this one here, which is a little mandala shape that I created yesterday. Okay, one of the great things about Procreate is that you can, change the side of your canvas. You could zoom in super close if you wanted to. It's up to you. So I made this one yesterday. And let's actually go open up. I'm going to open up a blank one here. Okay, so when you open up things in Procreate, you have a couple of different options. You can select, which is when you're like deleting specific things. You have your import, you have a photo. If you have a photo you want to trace or something, you can drag it in from there. Let's make sure I'm not missing anyone. Just lurking today. Sounds good, Rochelle. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a brand new one. You have a lot of sizes that come kind of pre-built in. You can also make your custom sizes and everything. So we are going to choose just something simple. There's a 3x3 here, which is a 3" by 3". We're going to grab that. Okay? Because although you have a Maziograph, what I like about a Maziograph is that it offers you more options as far as more detailed mandalas. And by the way, I apologize if I'm jumping around. I have a bunch of information I want to get out, and I'm trying to organize it in my brain as I go along. So if I miss something, I apologize, or if I sound more scattered than I do when I'm doing my regular coloring pages, it's just because I'm trying to make sure that I remember to say everything today. Okay, so up here, you've got a bunch of different things. You have your gallery, which is where we were just at, that has all of your work. These are your settings here. You've got a bunch of different stuff we'll go over here in just a bit. These here are your adjustments, opacity. You can, do blurs. You can do, your hue and saturation. You can do recolor, which is something we're going to show you. So there's that. There's also this, and this is kind of like, if you're familiar with Photoshop, it's kind of like Magic Wand on Photoshop, and then you can select it. See, it's separated out, all these lines and everything here. But we're not going to use that right now. This is your little arrow pointer. So if I had something drawn here, for instance, okay, now I have this on the layer. Now I can hit this. Oh, I got to remember to move that. And you can select it just like that. I almost wonder if I should turn this. Note on sizes, bigger size and resolution equals less layers of. Yes, thank you, Philip. See, I'm totally scattered. I'm trying to remember everything here. Let's zoom out just a bit. Yes, that is another good point. So let's go back to, no, I'm going to do it this way. There's bound to be a few hiccups. Let's go back to gallery. So one of the things that Philip is just saying is notes on sizes. Bigger size and resolution equals less layers available. That is very true. So if you look here, there's all your pixels and everything. But if I were to do something as big as like this 8.5 by 11, here, we're going to create a custom size so you can see, which is down here. You have options here. Okay, your options are going to be width, height, DPI, which is like how many pixels per inch. You can choose your color, and then you're going to title it. But then down here, sorry, when it's black like this, I'll have to rework this next time so it's a little bit smoother. Maybe do one of those recording things so that it's directly on there. I don't have this app, but use Photoshop for a lot of things. Yes, I do as well, Victoria. Okay, I made my coffee. Ready now. Sounds good, Alyssa. You have your millimeters, you have your centimeters, your inches, and your pixels. And here's where you can, it tells you here, your maximum layers. Okay, so right now this is pixels. Let's set it for inches because that's just what I like to set mine to, all right? So we're going to come up here, and now your size is set for inches. Now, obviously, this is too big. So we're going to zoom out here so you can see. I'm gonna wipe this off. It's getting a glare just because it's black. Once we get away from the black screen, it won't be too bad. Okay, so we have our width here. We've got our numbers down here. So let's choose, like we were gonna do before, let's do a 3" by, hi Graham, by 3". Okay, so now this is telling me my maximum layers. Is that Kitty? No, come on, Kitty. We might have a few interruptions from Kitty today just because she's not feeling herself. She's down here by my feet. We're going to take her to the vet tomorrow. But yeah, if I have more interruptions, it's just because she's not feeling fantastic today. Anyway, so this is telling me now I have 128 layers, okay? But if instead I were to do, let's go back up here. And let's say I'm going to do a 10" by 10 inch, which is kind of the standard size for like a Johanna Basford coloring book. Then if we go back down here, you can see now I've only got 18 layers available. Okay, but now let's stick to the 10 inch by 10 inch. We're going to go to our pixels per inch here. The glare is fine, don't worry about it. Okay, sounds good, Alyssa. We're going to change this to, let's say 72. Okay, so now we are at a 10 inch by 10 inch with 72 pixels per inch. Now let's go down. What did it say before? Like 13, I think. Now look, it's back up to 128. So how many, I generally like to do a higher resolution picture because you get more detail, which is where this is going to come into effect. So my standard for me personally is about 300. Oh, sorry, it was 18. That's what it was. But obviously that brings it back down to 18. Oh, hi, Kitty. Hope she's feeling. Yeah, I think she will. She's got some issues here that we're on, medicines and foods and stuff. So it's just trying to find out what works for her. All right, so we're going to change this back to a 3 inch by 3 inch perfect square here. All right, at 300 DPI, and we've got 128 layers that we can use. And layers are important when you're creating more intricate things. So here I'm going to show you. We're going to create this, and we're going to actually go back out because I want to show you what I mean by layers. Okay, so I have this image that I brought in. Now this is something I created a while ago. This is kind of like a food coloring page, so to speak. All right, and if you look on here, I've got a lot of different items that are similar. Now, I am not going to draw every single one of these items. What I am going to do, because some of them are duplicated, is I will draw one item, and then I will copy and paste it and bring it around, and then I'll merge the layers. So if you look on here, you can see that I've got 20 different layers here. Okay, and you can turn them off, you can change the opacity, there's loads of different things. Now that's all for drawing, and like I said, I could go into ages for about the drawing stuff, but we're gonna cover the coloring portion today, okay? So let's go back in here because I want to show you how to use the mandala feature in Procreate, because one of the differences, and we'll talk about it when we go into the Pigment app, is that if you are wanting to upload, these numbers are also limited by which iPad you have. Oh yes, that is also true. Yeah, Philip says the numbers are limited by which iPad you have, the memory it has. Yes, so I honestly don't remember how much memory mine does, but I think I chose something that was on the bigger end because I knew that it was going to be I was going to be creating a lot of stuff. So if you are wanting to bring in your own coloring pages into the Pigment app, because they do have an option to do that, to be able to successfully color it like the images that they have available in the library for download, you need to make sure that you're saving it as a PNG. So as fun as it is, and there's different things. So there's, you can save something as a JPEG, which is, JPEG. You can save something as a PDF, which is how I save it when I am uploading it to the files in the Facebook group. You can save something as a PSD, which is a file for Photoshop. You can save it as a PNG, which is used so that basically all that you have, it's saving it so that you're not saving the background. It's not a flattened image. It's just like the lines that you're creating. And so then when you import that PNG into Pigment, then it translates it as a usable coloring page. And I'll show you what I mean when we go into Pigment. But before we go any further, I'm going to show you real quick how to create your mandala effect here. And thank you, Philip. Seriously, if I miss anything, keep letting me know because, like I said, I'm a little scattered trying to remember everything. Okay, so if you are wanting to create your own mandala within Procreate, because Amasiograph doesn't save in PNG. So if you were to create a mandala in Amasiograph, you'd have to bring it over to Procreate and retrace it. There's a couple different ways you can go, but if you're wanting to upload it into the Pigment app, you would need to have a PNG file to be able to successfully color it like you're coloring the other ones. Okay? So this is our share option. When we're all done, this will be what you can save it as. So as you can see, you can save it as a Procreate file, a PSD, a PDF, a JPEG, a PNG, and a TIFF. I never use TIFF. I'm sure somebody else does, but I just don't. Okay, so we're going to go to our settings, and we're going to go to Canvas. This is actually a new feature they brought on here, what is it, maybe the last 6-8 months? It's super fun. But you go to Drawing Guide, and you pop that on, okay? And you'll see this grid pops up in the back of your screen. Then what you want to do is go to Edit Drawing Guide. And then you have all these options down here. Okay? So if you're wanting to create the mandala, you go to Symmetry, Then you have your option of assisted drawing, rotational symmetry, the thickness of your grid lines, how invisible you want them to be, and then up here also you can choose the color of your lines. I usually just stick with the default blue because the grid really doesn't matter that much. All right, so to create the mandala one, you select this one over here. Okay, now you can choose, you can see it has a lot fewer lines than the Amaziograph did. It's just divided up into 8 pieces versus, you know, like 16 or whatever else. So you can choose rotational symmetry or not. Rotational symmetry is basically where the image essentially, well, it rotates. So here, we're gonna choose up here. This is your color palette. Okay, so we're gonna choose black. We're gonna go into our brush. Oh, I was editing that earlier. We're gonna go into our brush. You can choose your brush. When I am drawing all of these, I don't have any special brushes loaded onto here. There are, it says no worries. Technically, I'm pretty good with Procreate. I wanted some lessons on Skillshare. Doesn't mean I can draw well with it. There you go. You can, there are certain people or certain places you can go to get specialty brushes. Honestly, I have so many to choose from here. I don't feel like I really need it. So you have your sketching one, which has technical pencil, HB, 6B, Render, soft pastel. Yeah, and Philip, I haven't actually taken a class. So everything I know on Procreate, it's all just self-taught stuff. So there may be a better way to do things sometimes. It just may be that I don't know about it yet. So I guess let me preface all of this chat with saying what I'm showing you is what works for me. Not necessarily, oh, it's without the period, Sheila. So just, yeah, exclamation point late without the period. What I'm showing you is what works for me. There may be a more efficient way to do it, but I may not know it yet. So mostly I'm just sharing what knowledge I have with you that I know about it. So, all right. So what we're going to do, you've got all these different pencil ones. You have inking, which are all these different kinds of pens. You've got calligraphy. You've got all these different kinds here. Let's zoom out so you can see here. All right, you've got all these different calligraphy ones. You've got painting, all these different brushes. You've got artistic. You got all these different ones here. We'll go through them so you can kind of see what they are. There's airbrush, textures. The textures are fun. The textures are a lot of fun. You have abstract, which are all these different ones. And I mean, really, it's a fun app just to play around with. Charcoals are all of these. Now, I use the Apple Pen, and so a lot of these can be affected by whether or not I am coloring directly, you know, straight up and down, or if I have my pencil at an angle. It's pressure sensitive, so it's trying to mimic that of an actual pencil. Then you have elements, which are all these different ones. Crystals, driven snow, oceans. I mean, there's so many in here. Spray paints. You have touch-ups. You have retro, luminance, industrial, organic brushes, and these are water, okay? What we're gonna be using is inking. And one of the things that I like to do if I'm doing something like this, because I'm sure that at some point, some of you have noticed my hands tend to shake a little bit. Not a ton, it's just what they do. And so a lot of times I'll end up with a shakier line than I intend. So one of the ways that you can combat that, go into your technical pen, okay? Any of these pens you can click on further to edit how you like. But what I do, so I use the technical pen a lot. Emily, can I recommend another channel that shows how to do digital coloring too? I didn't want to offend you or anything, but it's another person to see how they do things. Yeah, maybe afterwards, Beth Ann, but I'd hate for someone to be like, oh, well, this person's better, and then just leave because they're showing it better. I don't know. Maybe at the end of the stream, or maybe in the Facebook group. So anyway, you can go into your technical pen and you can do what's called streamlined. Now, I'm putting the streamline at 0, and I'm going to show you the difference here, okay? So let's zoom in. Okay. And you can see it's very sensitive to how I'm moving. Now, the difference is, okay, because we're in this mandala thing here. Okay, we're going to go into our technical pen. That's really big right now. And I'm going to up the streamline all the way. Okay, I'm going to lower the size of this here, because this is what this is here. For your pen itself, you can raise the size. You can see this little circle that's getting bigger and larger. And that's how wide you want your line to be. This is the opacity of it. So that's why it was kind of gray, because the opacity was down. Okay, but now what we're going to do is you can see it conforms a little bit more to it. I maybe don't have as many wiggle lines because it's streamlining it, literally. It's like taking control of the line a little bit so I have less, it's easier for me to make straighter lines. Okay, so you wanna, and there's loads of different things that you can mess with it. You know, spacing, jitter, like here's your spacing, you know, it creates a bunch of dots. So feel free to mess with that a little bit, okay? So if you wanna create your own coloring page in here, we're just gonna do something real simple. Agreed, share to Facebook. I'd love to see more help with digital coloring. There you go, perfect. Hi Cajun, let's see, I'm trying to remember. I think is it Pat or Heather? I'm trying to remember everybody's names. But hello! No, that isn't what I want to do at all. Just another channel that does this too. I find digital coloring fascinating because it's just as intricate as pencil and paper. Oh, exactly. It definitely is, Beth. All right, so we're going to create just a small little mandala here so I can show you how to save it so that you can import it into Pigment, okay? And then we'll go back and we'll show the coloring portion of this. All right, so you can see we've got our little grid here. Let's see, is that pretty? Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to... We've still got the rotational symmetry on, all right? And we've created this nice little shape. Now, the difference between the rotational and the other is, we're gonna go back into our edit drawing guide, we're gonna turn off rotational symmetry, okay? So now it's not gonna line up because we have that, but you saw kind of how it moved over, like it literally is rotating. Okay, so we're gonna go back in here and make sure, rotational symmetry is off, okay? Oop. And I turned our guide off, 1 second. There we go, let's turn that back to blue. All right. You have Illustrator and Photoshop? Okay, awesome. That's so cool, Emily. I need to get this. Oh, it's so much fun, Victoria. It's great. All right, so we're gonna zoom in just a tad here, okay? We've got our on the inking brushes, we're using the technical pan. We've got it just set to black, okay? We've turned off rotational symmetry. So now what we're gonna do is you're gonna just create your shape. Okay, now we're making this a little bit bigger just for, you know, sample size here. But you can see you've now filled in all of these spaces, okay? So then you can, and it's great because if you end up making a shape and you're like, that didn't really flow with it, then you can just get rid of it. You've got, you know, your back button over here, or you've got, you know, your eraser right up here, okay? So let's just finish creating just something simple here, okay? We're gonna draw this right over here. We've got this here. Says, awesome, Philip. I don't have Facebook, so I'll send it to you so you can share away. Oh, perfect. Okay. Tanya and Mary are here with me, and they'll be with me for my streams this week. Oh, awesome. That'll be fun. Maybe I can do one on my channel one of these days. Oh, for sure. Okay, so we're gonna just quickly make a little shape here. Not bothering with variation too much. Okay, so this is gonna be our shape here, okay? Our little design. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go to our settings and we're gonna hit share. And you have all these different options for how you want to, sorry, I realized I didn't have it in there. Okay, so we go to settings, we click share, which is the little pointing up arrow. And then we come down and we want to select PNG right here. This is the file that you need if you want to upload this to Pigment, okay? So let's go ahead and select PNG. And now it's exported. I'm gonna save the image. Export successful. All right. So now we can go ahead and close out of this. Okay. We're gonna open up Pigment app here. All right, now it's already into my work. Normally when you pull up Pigment app, it's gonna pull up into here. Okay. Now, when you do this, it'll have prompts for you to sign up, and I think they have a 1-week free trial that you can try too. Victoria, I was waiting on Emily to do the video before I got it. I think I'm going to. It looks like fun. Oh, awesome. All right, so now this is Pigment app here, and you have loads of different options. So you do not have to make your own coloring pages at all. I mean, you can see these are all featured colored pages and everything, but if you go to the library here, which is right, you have, zoom on in, you have Home, Library, Gallery, My Work, and Import. And that's where you can import your coloring page. I also share the YouTube tutorial on Procreate to take a picture of an art book and clean it up for use in Procreate. Then easy to bring into Pigment from there. Oh, yes, most definitely. Most definitely, Philip. Because I'm going to show here, because Procreate does have an option, or not Procreate, Pigment app does have an option to take a picture, but I just found it didn't translate as well. So yes, most definitely. You can take a picture, clean it up on Procreate, and then be able to take it into Pigment app from there. Can this be done with an Android pad? That I'm not sure, because there are some apps that aren't available on Android versus iPad. So I would just check your app store and see if they're available on there. So you can go to library, and this is where they have, you know, they have dailies, they have all of these different color pages because they have loads of featured artists. So you can see there's a plethora of options if you're wanting to color digitally. And it's great, especially if it's something that's on the go. Okay, so then here's gallery, which are, because you can also share things that you've colored. So these are the things that a lot of other people have colored. Okay, then we can go into my work, which is stuff I'm working on. We're going to get into here in a little bit. See, I tested out using some other people's coloring pages. I've got some of my own, so we're going to go into that. Now I'm going to import here. I'm actually going to bring this away because I have loads of other pictures and work that I've done for different clients and stuff. So I'm going to pull this away. But what you are going to do is you're going to go to import, and then you'll just follow the prompts, which import is down here. So give me one moment. I'm going to voice it here so you at least know. All right, so you click on import. You can see this. You have your options of load photo, take a picture, iCloud, Dropbox. I'm going to click load photo. Okay. What it does then is it brings up all your photos. So then you navigate to where you saved your PNG. Okay. Then it brings you to this page where you can crop and rotate. Now I'm just going to leave it as is, but you can see here where it starts to gray out is where the limit of your page is. So I'm going to put it right there. All right. Then you're going to hit next. And then you have your option of original, light, and bold. Now, I just have this straight up black and white, so it's not really going to matter. So I'm just going to go with light, and I'm going to hit check mark. Okay. Make sure I don't need any more. Okay. All right. So once you hit check mark, then it brings you into this. Okay. And that's how you upload it. We're going to come back to this to color this here in just a minute, but I'm jumping all over the place and I want to try and stay focused. Okay. So that is how you upload your image, your own personal image if you're wanting to color it. And you know, see, it's got all different kinds of pens, and then you can color your specific thing. We're going to come back to this though. Okay. So I apologize if I'm jumping too much, but I'm trying to get this. Didn't that turn out nice? And I apologize. I know usually I'm keeping up with chat quite a bit more, but I'm trying, if there's something directly at me, I'll see it here. Take a drink of coffee here. Although at this point, do I really need coffee? I'm all wired here. All right, so we're going to go back into Procreate, and we're going to pull up a couple things here that I've colored, and then we'll go ahead and color that one small mandala here, okay? So this is a mandala that I created. This is another coloring book page. This is one that I haven't turned into something digital yet. This was a scanned image that I had. And then this is another scanned image, okay? So we're going to go into this llama here. And you can see here, this is not something that I created within Procreate. This is something that I drew and then that I scanned in, okay? So what you can do, you see I've got this one part, I just chose one color. I know, Sleepy Kitty, right? On Android, Sketchbook, Artflow, and Artridge all have similar modes, I think. I can double check if needed, but those are three of the more complex drawing apps on Android. Yes, for sure. Okay, so this is just a simple llama. I actually created a lot of surface design, and this was one of the main key elements in it, okay? So what we're going to do here is we are actually going to go ahead and delete these so that I can show you exactly what I did. Actually, no. Yeah. All right, so what I did is I set this as a reference photo, okay? You go up here and you go to your layers, all right? We have a llama as a layer. Actually, no, we're going to go to the unicorn. Unicorn's a better example, which is why I have both on here, okay? So we're going to get rid of this, okay? And we're going to undo that. All right, this is, you can see, this is just white, okay? How can I find you? I can use your knowledge also. There you go. He's very knowledgeable. Okay, again, and I apologize if I'm jumping around. My brain's a little scattered trying to remember everything. Okay, so this is my unicorn pre-mandala. I've been showing you my more re-edited unicorn, but this was the first iteration of the unicorn, okay? And this is something that's scanned in that wasn't drawn. You can see it's got a big white layer behind it here. So it's not, it doesn't have any different layers. It is just a flat image that is just black and white. All right, now normally you would need to maybe like retrace it so that you can have your different layers, but there's something else that you can do. All right, what you can do, you've got your layer, you're going to tap it. You have all these different options: rename, select, copy, fill later, fill layer, clear, alpha lock, mask, invert, and reference. What we're going to click is reference. And basically what that is doing is that's setting a cookie cutter reference for every other subsequent layer. Your entire image is going to be referenced off of this one image. So, for instance, what we're going to do is we are going to create another layer. All right, so this is going to be a reference for the other layer. All right, now let's grab our color palette here, which is this right up here. Okay, it's this right here. Tap that, and you can choose any color that you can think of. Okay, any color of the rainbow. So let's go to let's go to purple. This nice kind of fun light purple right here. You just slide it along till you find the one you want. Okay, you can also go here to values if you have a specific, if you know the code number for your specific color, you can enter it in right here. You can adjust here. You have preset palettes if you wanted to do that. Then you've got the disc if you wanted to edit your color this way. I generally just go with the classic just because that's what my default is. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to hold down this circle. We're going to drag it over. Make sure, actually first you want to make sure that you're on that second layer there. Okay, so you're going to drag this over and you're going to drop it onto one of these hairs. Now, you see that because it's a reference, it's a completely different layer. Just like that, okay? So now it has rendered itself. Now, you can tell it's not super perfect. Like if we were to uncheck the unicorn, you can see that just that one hair is left, okay? So now what you can do, so that you can still see that black line, go in here and you can click the letter N, okay? You can lessen the opacity of it just a tad. Now you can see those black lines are coming up here. Now what we want to do is we want to go here and let's see, where was that? Actually, you know what? I take it back. We're going to bring that opacity back up here because what we want to do is we want to blend with it too. All right, now this is just if you have an image. Ideally, you will have something that you can work with the lines above and below, okay? So you're going to go in. We're going to grab a little bit darker purple color, okay? And what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our layer and we're going to hit select, all right? And what hitting select is doing, you see all these kind of gray lines across it, except for this purple part, is it's making it so that you are going to go outside this section, okay? So one of the ways that you can do it for shading on here is you've got your darker purple now, okay? And we're going to change our brush to painting, okay? We're just going to use the simple round brush, okay? You can adjust your size over here. We're just going to do that. All right, now because all of this is grayed out, you're not going to go outside the lines at all. All right, so we're just going to fill in that little top part and the bottom part here. Okay, then you're going to use, right up here, I like to use the smudge tool. Now the smudge tool is kind of like your brushes with all of the other ones. This is going to be kind of what your smudge shape is like. We're going to use the soft airbrush. Okay, that's going to give it a nice soft edge. Thank you, Kimmy. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go in. Let's see how big that is. We're going to make this a little bit smaller. And what I do is I use it to sort of blend the darker color with the lighter color. And like I said, there may be other people that do this differently. What I'm showing you today is what works for me. That toucan that I colored, this is how I did it. I use the smudge tool a lot. Now, one of the things you have to keep in mind is like on the outside, you're bringing in anything, you know, like the white or if there's any other black lines. So you need to be aware of your limits here, okay? So I blended that in with that. Come down here. Okay. And we're blending this here. Okay. All right, so that is one way that you can do it if you're just bringing in. All right, now we've deselected that. If you're just bringing in a straight image. Ideally, however, you will be able to use something that has the individual layers and the lines so that you aren't going over and you don't have these rough edges. So what we're going to do now so that I can show you a more refined way to do it. See, we're gonna, this dessert one is one we're gonna use in Pigment app. This was the one I already did. All right, we're gonna go into this one here that we have colored, okay? Didn't mean to do that. All right, so we have this now, okay? This is our little tiny mandala that we drew here. All right, so what we're gonna do now, okay, is we're gonna go into layers, all right? We're gonna set this, we're gonna turn off the drawing assist, okay, which is what we had for the grid there. And we're gonna set this as a reference photo. Now we're gonna open up a new layer, all right? So now it should all be referenced to that. One of the other things you could do is you could create a duplicate layer. In fact, actually, we're gonna do that because that is my preferred way to do this. All right, so this is how I do a lot of my illustrations. Oh, it's so much fun, Kelly, it really is. All right, so we're gonna duplicate this. Now, I always create a duplicate layer anyway when I'm working on a layer so that I have a backup. Because if you're coloring directly onto this, here, we're gonna turn this extra layer off. If you're coloring directly onto this and you mess up, like, oh, dang, well now I gotta erase the whole thing. Plus, if you're erasing edges, you might erase the original mandalas. So I always like to create a duplicate layer within what I'm working on. All right, and then I leave this top layer. Yeah. It says, you don't have to worry about the pencil dust all over the page. Most definitely, Leslie. Yeah, you really don't. That's one of the nice things. All right, so what we're gonna go ahead and do is you have this top layer here, and we are going to leave this layer here. So we're gonna show you two ways of how you can do this, okay? So we're gonna work on the bottom layer, because what you're able to do is you can color this and still have this black layer right up there, okay? So what we're gonna go ahead and do is you can take this down, you can fill, or you can use an option called recolor. So go into this little sparkle wand here right up at the top. Okay. You go down here and you select recolor. Okay. Then these little crosshairs are going to pop up. Now it automatically filled that because that's where the crosshairs landed. But what you can do is you can maybe drag it to a different one. If it's like, oh, I didn't want that one. Okay. So say what you wanted was these ones purple. Now, instead of dragging it, you can just tap, 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 and you've now filled in all four of those. And then when you want to exit that, you hit your little paintbrush there. And so now you've got these ones that are filled. Now, if you go to your layers, you can see that this bottom layer, we've now filled with that, okay? So we're actually gonna, let's see, let's choose now, let's choose a lighter color, okay? Now that's if you don't want to do any like shading or anything. If you just want to fill it in, it's a great way. You can just literally hit recolor and boom, 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 you're filling it in. But there's still nothing like coloring with a regular coloring pencil paper. Oh, for sure, most definitely. Like I know, like even some people might consider digital coloring like cheating, like it takes away some of the magic. But there is still a lot of intricacies to digital coloring if it's something that you're interested in. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and fill in, let's say these, okay? So we're gonna do the drag and drop from up above, just like, see, here's your color here, and you just drag and drop. You could do this with your finger too if you don't have the Apple Pencil. This is just more precise. I definitely prefer the pencil to be sure. All right, now what we're gonna do is we are going to grab a little bit darker color here, okay? And then we're gonna go into our brushes. Now you have loads of different brushes to choose from. Like I said, you know, you've got your artistic, you've got, you know, painting round brush, which is actually, let's see, what do we want to use? We're going to use, yeah, we'll use the airbrush. And in fact, yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to zoom on in. Okay, we're going to use the airbrush. Oop, are we on the right layer here? Yes. Okay. All right, so you can see, let's make it a little bit smaller. The opacity is pretty down, so that's why it wasn't showing up that much. So we're gonna bring that all the way up. Okay, and we're just gonna fill in just like so. Okay, like you would on a regular coloring page, okay? just like that. The gradients of fills feel like cheating, but I can also carry my coloring around with me all day whenever I have some spare minutes. Exactly, Philip. It's great. All right, so now we've added these two colors here. We're going to take our smudge tool. And again, you can change it to whatever kind of brush you want for whatever kind of effect you're trying to get. We're going to still use the soft airbrush though. And now what we're going to do is we are using that smudge tool to blend this color into the lighter color. And really just play with it because you're going to get more and more comfortable as you go along. Okay, so we're going to do the same over here. Okay, now you're like, okay, that looks fairly decent, but maybe we should add a highlight. So we're going to change our color to maybe a lighter purple right up there, right up the top. Okay, and we're going to add it right there. I took a picture of the back of my Prismacolor 150 box and uploaded it into my computer, then saved every color in the swatch folder and loaded to Photoshop. And I have a Wacom tablet and pen. Oh, perfect. Yes, I have a Wacom as well, Victoria. All right, so we're just gonna add that there, maybe a little bit there and a little bit there, okay? Now we can take our smudge tool. And there we go. Just like so. All right, so that's kind of a simple way to get some coloring done on there. Now, it can take a while to be sure, and you can fiddle with your layers and all the different brushes and everything, but the same basic principle when you color a page is going to be the same as when you color in here. You know, like I have my rules of 3. I'm still going to use my light, my medium, and my dark. You know, I have, you know, the ideas in my head where shading should go. It's the same kind of deal. And then, like I said, you can do, you know, the reference photo part. So we're actually we're gonna turn that layer off of everything that we just did. We've still got this here, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add another layer right above this one because we're gonna use this one here. We're gonna click on it and we're gonna hit reference. Okay, this is gonna be another way that you can do this, all right? So let's do blue this time. Okay, or maybe a teal. Yeah, the Wacom is great. That's what I used before I got the iPad. Now I have a hard time going back. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and we make sure that we're in our clear layer with no other lines, okay? And we're gonna take this and we are going to go drag and drop right over here. Actually, let's just do this one here. All right, so we filled in this. One of the other things you could do too, like before you make it a reference, actually, no, we'll go back to that. I'm jumping around. I apologize. I should not be jumping around. All right, now that we've had that one color that we've dropped on there, we're going to go ahead and go back up to our colors, and we're going to grab a slightly darker color. Same kind of formula that we did before. And we are going to, you can see it's covering it, but that's okay. It's okay. All right, we're going to add our color in here. Okay. And you're going to use your smudge tool. Okay. And you're going to blend that in. Now, one of the cool things about doing it this way is that because there's no black lines on the layer, because when you smudge, it's bringing in all that different color. So I'm going to turn this off for a second. I'm going to show you, okay? So for instance, this is what we did below. You know, we've got this layer on top that's covering up the extra lines. But if you were to take this smudge tool, and if you're not careful while you're smudging it, on the wrong layer here, you bring in some of that black line because this black line is part of the image. Obviously, you don't want the black line, so you have to be careful when you're using the smudge tool with another thing, which is why I like the way Emily pronounced Wacom, not Wacom. Yeah, makes sense to me. I mean, the A is a soft, you know, A sound. Okay, so I'm gonna turn that back off. All right, so what we're gonna do now, you can see this is all by itself. So we don't have to worry about blending any black with it, okay? Yeah, I think we've got pretty similar schedules, Pat. Okay, so now, see, we got that here, but you can see it's over the edge. But what you can do now is we're going to turn off the reference, okay? Then we're going to duplicate this layer. We're going to drag it up and above that green layer. And now, lo and behold, you've got these nice clean lines. Okay, now I should have done that beforehand, so we're going to turn this reference back on. Okay, so this is still going to be a reference for all the subsequent layers. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's grab a yellow. All right, we're going to drag it in. We'll go to this one now, okay? So now it's filled in reference to this one, not this one. And with this one being on top, now you're still keeping all of your nice black clean lines. Okay, now we're gonna, kitty, no. All right, now we're gonna grab a slightly darker one. Okay, make sure we're still on this colored layer here. Okay, and we're gonna add our darker color here. Okay, then we're going to grab our smudge tool, just like so. And again, I'm showing you what works for me. There may be other artists that do this in a different way, but this is what works for me. If you didn't do, you can also lock the line drawing layer so you don't accidentally color it. Really? If you didn't do, you can also lock the line drawing layer so you didn't accidentally color on it. I didn't know that one, Philip. Let's take a look. Oh, alpha lock. There it is. See, there's some things that I haven't explored on that. All right. See, this is handy. We're like co-teaching the class here. But yeah, so there you have it. You have the lines on top, so you don't have to worry about it. That's... Come on, kitty. Stop chewing on that. Go on. Go on, honey. Okay, so that's the basic principle of how I color on the Procreate app. And like I said, there are loads of different brushes for you to choose from to start getting more things. Now, let me say this. I hadn't used the Pigment app before Philip had suggested it. Coffee here. And now having used it, sounds good, Pat. Now having used it, I have to say that when it comes to drawing and illustrating everything, I most definitely choose Procreate or like Illustrator or any of that. But if I'm just coloring, just to color, greetings, oh hi Jo Beth. Oh, Alpha Lock is different. Okay, I'll have to explore that one because I'm not totally positive for that one. Oh, lock, right there. Okay, yeah, so you swipe left to get to lock, and then that locks it. All right, cool, Philip. I didn't know that. Anyway, as far as illustrating and everything goes, most definitely this. But if you are wanting to do it for just coloring, now that I've used the Pigment app, I'm going to switch my stand a little bit. Because, I mean, I've been coloring on this for ages, and I can still do it. Yeah, I got that, yeah. So if you are wanting an app just to color, I'm actually going to say I don't recommend Procreate for specifically coloring. I do recommend it for illustrations. Lock it, just like you said. Okay. Then we go to red. Make sure we're selecting that one. Ah, look at that. All right, cool. Thanks, Philip. I'm going to have to toy with that later. But yeah, so now that I've used this and the other, I have to say Pigment app is much more color friendly and probably a bit less complicated. All right, so we're actually going to go over and dive into Pigment app now. So if you're wanting to draw and create illustrations, you know, black and white line drawings, a little bit of color, highly recommend this. But after playing with the Pigment app for a couple of days, I actually highly recommend the Pigment app. You know, you've got the, you know, if you want to try it out, you've got the week free subscription, or, you know, the week trial subscription to try it out. So we're going to go into Pigment app now. Okay. Now this is where we were before, but we're going to go back to the gallery for just a second. And like after stream, search up using the clipping mask. Oh, actually, no, I do know how to do the clipping mask as well. I forgot to touch on that one. So one of the fun things that you can do, especially if you wanted to color the lines too, one of the things that I use the clipping mask for is go ahead and create another layer. We're going to turn off these other layers here, okay? So what Philip's talking about for the clipping mask, and this is something I like to do if I want to color just the lines on the mandala. There's other ways you can do it, but this is how I use the clipping mask. So you go in here in this blank layer, you go over here and you click clipping mask. Okay, so this is something fun. I saw a friend do it and I really wanted to learn how to do it. Okay, so let's create a rainbow effect. All right, let's go to yellow. Let's see. All right, so that's just yellow. We're gonna use painting here. Are you able to load page you want to color in the Pigment app? Yes. Yes, you are. Yes, you can. Okay, so here. This is going over the lines here. And this is what I like to use the clipping mask for. Okay, so we're going to color a little bit of yellow. We're going to move over. We're going to get a little bit of orange here. Just like so. Then we're going to grab some red. It does a really cool design, especially if you're doing mandalas. Okay. Use that. Slide it on down. And there. Just wait for it. It'll be really cool when we're done. Okay. Color there. And then we're going to take green. Okay. Then we're going to go to get our little magic wand right up here at the very top. Okay. And you go to what's called Gaussian blur. Okay. Then you just slide up here to adjust. Okay. Just like so. It blurs that. And now you could take, if you wanted to, you can change your background color to say black, really make it pop. And now you've got a cool gradient effect on your mandala. So that's something fun to do too. Okay. So yeah, that's the clipping mask as well, which I enjoy using for that. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So what Philip is talking about here. So Pigment app has an ability to take a picture. Now, Philip, you may know this better than I do. There's probably an easier way to do it. Is you could take a picture of your thing, take it into Procreate and clean it up and get it ready. He said that there's a tutorial. Philip, you can share that tutorial in the Facebook group, the one how to clean up a picture to prepare it for Pigment. But this was me just using the app directly. Okay? So as you can see, it's not perfect. You know, it's got a little bit of shading on the side, and then when you try to color in it, you don't get these special sections. You know, it's like this. So you can, you know, by hand make sure that you stay only in that. You're not getting any smearing. But the reason I make a note of this is because generally in the coloring pages, like this one, saved as a PNG, hit color. It colors only in the section that you're on. Look at that. See, it's not going over anything else. It's just staying in that one section. See, as long as it's whatever your pencil touches on first is where that's gonna stay. It's not going, see, I mean, I'm going all over, but it's just coloring that one section. So that's one of the perks to uploading a PNG versus taking a picture with something. Now, like I said, posting link on Facebook now, perfect. You can stay within the lines just like this. And this was just a picture that I took of one of my drawings. Okay, now this is just a pencil tip. Like in Procreate, there's loads of different tips. So you got pencil, marker, glitter, which Mia would love that one. I know she's not here right now, but that's really pretty. All right, so there's glitter, there's pastel, there's sand, there's paintbrush, there's technical pen, there's blender, there's airbrush, watercolor, wood, circle, plasma, laser, apparently it's new, halftone, splatter, and oil. So there's loads of different options. Now it has this fill bucket. That's gonna come in more handy with something over here. Okay, so let's come over here real quick. I'm gonna show you. This is the PNG, here we go. This is the PNG that we created and that we uploaded, okay? So let's go to our fill bucket right over here. Okay, so over here, you see you have all these little options. You have your pencil, you got your fill bucket, you've got your eraser, and you've got settings here. Oh, coloring inside. So there you go. Automatic, freehand, advanced. I actually haven't explored advanced too much. Like I said, I've only been playing with this app just this week, so I'm sure that there's probably more that Philip knows about. But these are the basics. This is what I have learned so far. So we're going to do tap to fill, and you have all these different options. So say I wanted to have these little cross hatching things. Let's choose this green. You just tap. And now you've got this cool, as soon as I can find it again, there you go. You've got these cool line designs, okay? Let's see. They've also got these little swirly designs. Let's change our color. And let's see, let's bring that down. Okay. Tap and add that. Okay. So there's loads of different cool things. And like say you want a cool little background. You know, you got all your color palettes down here. Okay. Loads of different things to do. These are preset color palettes. You can create your own color palette here, or you can also just select which color you want from over here. Okay, so let's just choose, let's grab Candy Store, okay? And let's grab these flowers, the sunflower pattern. Grab the blue, okay? Come right up here and tap. And there you go. Now this is because we have the PNG file in here. It's able to separate all these different lines, okay? So it's as simple as that. Like same thing. Okay, let's choose our pencil brush, okay? And let's just use pencil because it's simple enough. All right, we're gonna grab this pink here, just like we were doing on the other one. Okay, we're gonna fill this in. I don't have interest in digital coloring, but thank you for giving us your time. Better that I learned it's not for me after spending money to buy it all. Looking forward to the next live stream. Sounds good, Anne. Yeah, we'll be live Monday to continue working on our Rachel Reinert page. All right, so there's that like one. Bloomfill is the best ingredients. Oh, most definitely. And then we're gonna grab our darker one, just kind of the same kind of style that we did before. All right, so obviously there's not the exact same kind of tools, you know, on Procreate as there is here. All right, so we're gonna add those kind of darker ones in the corner like we did before. And we're gonna add the pink. I'm just gonna lightly go over that. And that's creating a bit of a gradient there. Okay. So that's kind of cool. So that's the basic same idea with that. Now what I want to go into is, so these, like I said, these were some selections. You can go to the library. Like I said, there's loads of different coloring ones for you to choose from. I mean, anything you could think that you want to color, it's on here. Now, like I said, if you don't have the subscription, you may be limited as to, you know, which ones you can choose, but you can even search by, you know, these are the dailies. You got Jim Henson Company, featured artists. You've got animals, butterflies, culture. Ooh, there's even a Disney section. So, hey, we got the Disney Colorathon. You could color one of these. We've got elements, feathers, fantasy, flowers and plants, foods, geometric, grayscale. Gosh, how many are there? Holidays and seasons, landscapes, made in assembly, mandalas. There you go. See, and this is their featured artist for these mandalas. We've got Marvel. So if you like the comics, or even if your kids like comics, you got patterns, people, sea life, space, sports. It's all in alphabetical order, so you can imagine how many more we have to go. Structure, transportation, type, and vintage. And type is like letters and such, which I actually have a bunch. I have a bunch of letters like this. I could totally do that. I have the whole alphabet. There was this project I was working on, and I literally spent weeks creating an entire letter alphabet with these kind of designs in it. Oh my gosh, I have an alphabet set for this. That would be perfect. Anyway, so I chose a couple of them before I started uploading my own stuff, because I was like, I just want to experiment with it. All right, so here we go in here as soon as it loads. All right, so I was just grabbing kind of random colors, but it's the same kind of thing. But you can see I got these cool gradients on here, because what you can do is go to your fill bucket, okay, which is right down here, and we go to metallic, which is what I used on here. Okay, let's grab this green, and then all we need to do is just tap, and you get that kind of nice gradient kind of fill without having to do much. You're literally just tapping. So if you're really wanting to just relax and just kind of, you know, add color, this is a great way to do it. So let's grab pillow. It's kind of the same as metallic, except it's using white a little bit more. Okay, so let's add in some here. Nice kind of little subtle gradient. Okay, let's grab, here. Oh, this, okay, that's the braid there. Let's grab fade. Let's grab this, we can put that there. Now, where you tap is going to depend on where your, where your white is. So let's tap there, okay? So we tap there. You can see the white's a little bit different where you go. So if we go a little bit further into the corner, just like that. So as far as coloring is concerned, Pigment app is so much more friendly to coloring, I think, than Procreate is. And it's not even like if you're wanting, like I said, we showed on the other one, like if you're wanting to just hand color it versus, just auto-filling, you can do that too. So like, let's take this blue, okay? Let's fill it in. Grab this, let's lower the size of this just a tad. Okay, put that there. Okay, let's go back to this. Maybe bring it up just a bit and just kind of blend in it. You can see here, in fact, let's go into the gallery here. I mean, you can see what people have done for some of these. I mean, look at that. That's fantastic. The amount of detail that's on some of these. I mean, look at this face. They clearly spent a long amount of time, working on some of these. Okay, here's a real good example. Let's take a look at Shane's here. All right, so look at all of the shading that he got in her hair and her flowers and even her face. So there is an immense amount of detail that you can put into these. And this is by Shane, yeah. And you can share your work to the gallery too. So we're gonna go into this one. This is a coloring page that I created full of lots of different desserts. So if you're hungry, look away now. No, I'm kidding. Get my coffee here. Okay. So I was working on this last night just to get an example. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and color one of these, okay? So you see we got lots of little things. Got cupcakes, chocolate covered strawberries, donuts, ice cream, cake. See, they're only all partially colored. I was never really sure. This would probably be more of a jello cake, but I colored it more of like an actual like bundt cake style thing. So yeah, so this was one that I created. So what we're gonna do, I think this will be a good example. We're gonna color this piece of pie here, okay? So let's see. Hi, Lucy, welcome. Yeah, we're just covering some digital stuff today. All right, so this is just something simple. So we can go to our color palettes here. All right, and let's see. Let's choose, get a nice kind of brownish color. Actually, I know what I want, so we want a brown color. All right, so let's tap on this. This is these were colors that I used previously, so this is like a brown. And I'm not sure that I want that darker brown, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this over to the yellow, because I want a little bit more of this lighter one, and then I'm going to slide this up to here to where I want it. Okay, so now I've got the color that I want. Now I'm going to go to my brushes, and I want to go ahead and fill. But I think I would like, we're going to do the pillow fill, okay? So, and where the lightest part is going to depend on where you tap it. So let's go, let's tap in the middle. Okay, so you see we've got our darker sides here. Okay, let's undo it. What if I were to tap up here? Now I've got a lighter side up here and a darker side here. Same thing with the other. Now we've got our darkest part up here and our lightest part here. But if you tap in the middle, then it's nice and even. Agreed, Kimmy. Yeah, if it's just for coloring, Pigment is so much more user-friendly. I probably revert to Procreate more because I do a lot of illustration as well. But for just coloring, this is so handy. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and fill in the side of the crest here. Okay, now I don't like where that fell, so we need to do in the middle, just like that, all right? Oh, good Lord. Let's see. Put this user in timeout. There we go. I wonder if we can. There we go. I think I hit that. Okay, hopefully I did that right. I don't get trolls too often. Must have been like a bot account. Anyway, was something in chat in case those are wondering why I stopped. Okay, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and tap these little things here. And this just makes it so simple and so user-friendly to just, you know, color it. All right, now I've got these berries here, and, you know, we're going to imagine that they are blueberries, okay? So we're going to grab slightly darker here. And maybe we want to give our blueberries a little bit more of a texture. So let's grab the metallic fill, okay? And you can literally just tap. I mean, it's so quick and so simple and so easy. You don't need to mess with layers or anything. I'm telling you, Philip, I think you've sold me on this app here. I didn't know much about it before I started using it, but as far as just relaxing coloring, this is super nice. Never go out of the lines again. Exactly, Lucy. Now, yeah, I suppose, you know, filling is a sort of, you know, cheating, I guess. But, you know, it's not about what you're doing for other people. It's about what you're doing for yourself. And if you find that you can relax more and you can enjoy it more when you don't have to worry about, you know, going out of the lines or specific blends or anything. We used a light, like a darker blue here. Then do it that way. You don't have to color for anybody else. You do it for you, you know? And the whole point is to be able to relax and enjoy. And if coloring in the physical books is too stressful, or, you know, you struggle with it and you find you're getting more frustrated, and maybe not even all the time, but if you just need to take a break, sometimes being able to come in here and just not have to think and just fill in the spaces. Sometimes that's just what you need, you know? Tiny little spot. There you go. All right, well, you get the idea. I'm just filling in with this darker stuff so that, you know, you've got this piece of pie here with the rest. You know, all right, well, let's color, let's do one of these macarons here. Is there anything like this for the Windows tablet? That I don't know. The part I'm working on is using the pencil to recreate the style we're using. Oh, yes, for sure. And like I showed on those other ones, and actually we're going to do it on this macaron here. Macaroon, I don't know, whichever it is. I suppose it depends on how it's spelled. We're going to do that right here. So Victoria, I would just look on whatever app store you have, and if it's available, then it'll be on there. As far as other equivalents, generally if you put in something like a well-known app like the Pigment app, if you were to put it in, your app store is going to give you suggestions. Yes, exactly, Lucy, exactly. It is so low stress. I found myself staying up later than I probably should have last night to color this page. I was like, oh, just one more. We'll just fill in one more. You know, it's just so satisfying to get it done so quickly, you know? But yeah, your app store for whatever tablet you're on should give you an equivalent suggestion as to what it is. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to grab our brush, and we are going to use, let's see, maybe we'll use one we haven't used yet. Let's see, what does sand look like, huh? Sand could kind of work, maybe for the inside here, but that's not what I want exactly. Let's see. There's wood, circle. Let's go ahead and just use our pencil brush, shall we? Okay, we're using a pink. We're going to go ahead and fill this in. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing here. Okay, and then maybe for some fun texture, let's go ahead and grab the, where was it? Sand? Yes, let's grab sand. Okay. You know, that edge of those macarons are supposed to be a little textury, you know? All right, let's go back to our pencil here. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a slightly darker pink. Okay, Okay. I'm going to zoom in here. Check our pencil size. We don't want it too big. Okay. We're just going to add our shadow where we would like we were normally coloring a page. Okay. All right. And you know how I use a light, a medium, let's see, try pastel tool, Emily. It's a new tool and kind of a brush with the smudge built in. Oh, okay, yeah, let's check it out. Let's grab it. Let's grab pastel. Ah, there you go. See, the only thing is though, is that it lightens for me. See, like right now, this is way too big a brush anyway, but you see how it's kind of pulling from that? But that's the same kind of thing that the smudge tool does too. So maybe when we go to blend this, we'll switch to the pastel tool and make this way smaller. Yeah, see, there you go. That's right. I like it. All right, so let's go back real quick to the pencil tool. Okay, and we're gonna grab an even darker color. We're gonna grab that, okay? Just at the base here. A little bit there, a little bit there. All right, now you can see we're like, oh dang, well I can't, you know, select what color I used before, but ta-da, you can because these are your recent colors. So we're gonna select this pink, okay? And we're gonna grab the pastel tool, like Philip said, because it's got, like he said, kind of a smudge built into it, okay? And we're gonna kind of blend that together. Imagine like when you're using pastels, you know, you kind of use your finger to smudge it all together, you know? All right, and if you want, you can lessen the opacity of it, lighten the blend just a bit more, okay? Same thing with over here. Gonna blend that kind of darker color in just a bit. There we go. Okay, there's that. We're going to do the same thing here. So the same kind of techniques that we use on our coloring book pages can be translated into these, okay? Actually, I want to go to this kind of pinky color here. There we go. Help if I kept it in frame. We went back to that medium kind of pinky color. All right. And there is that. Let's go back to our light pink color. Okay, now let's grab our medium pink color and go back to grabbing sand here so that we can add our darker colors. Oh, that's too big. Too big, too big. I'm gonna get smaller here. Thanks, Kimmy. I've been using 90% pencil tool for color and I use watercolor tool for textures. It creates background. Oh, most definitely. Okay, so let's add a bit of pink here, a little bit there. Okay, a bit there, a little bit there. Now we're gonna grab our darker pink again. Having these recent colors down here is really nice, makes it real easy. Okay, a little bit there, a bit there. Okay, now if we want, we can go ahead and grab that pastel tool again. Okay, now it is gonna take out some of the texture because you're changing the type of texture. We're gonna grab that medium pink. Okay, and we're just a little bit. Just blending it just a smidge, okay? There we go. Then we're gonna grab this light one here, okay? Let's bring it back up to here, okay? And then down here, okay? Let's zoom on out here. We can see what we've done with our macaron here. Now we got this white filling here, so let's go ahead and grab, you know, just for fun, for color variation, we're just gonna grab this cream color right here. Okay, and we're gonna do a fill on this one, okay? Let's do, because it's such a dark color, let's try the pillow fill, shall we? There we go, or let's see. Or we can even, let's go ahead and do a pink. Now that we've selected the pink, we have access to this, so we can get that pink, but maybe get it just a little bit lighter. And you can see the comparison here. This is what you had, this is what you have now, okay? So let's go ahead and grab maybe the metallic. See, with the metallic, it brings in kind of a gray aspect, so we may not want that. But we can use pillow. That lightens it just a little bit. All right, now we can zoom out, and now we have a nice colored macaron. Now I used, because I thought it'd be kind of fun for cake texture, so like on this piece of cake here, I used concrete because I liked the idea of having the little speckles in the cake. So you can see, as far as the Pigment app is concerned and, you know, Procreate, I recommend, for just coloring, I definitely recommend the Pigment app over Procreate. If you are illustrating and then, you know, wanting to fill it in with color, then you know, stick with Procreate. I say, oddly metallic fill gives you a colored pencil look. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I like that too. I just wish that you, I don't know, Philip, is there a way, because with metallic, it automatically fills it in with kind of like a black on the end, which works sometimes. But is there a way that I am missing that you can change what that end color is instead of a black? Or do they just stick with the black because that's supposed to be kind of the metallic? Because if there was a way to alter that, that would give you more variation and control about how you want to do your picture. It's just bothering me not having the rest of this blueberry pie filled in. All right, there we go. I'll have to go back and watch this. Oh, most definitely, Donna. We're just kind of playing around with the different apps here and everything. I made a kind of a dessert coloring page here. Here, let's do a little bit of this cake here. Because at this point, I've kind of gone over, you know, everything. Now it's just, you know, mostly with these apps, the best way to learn is just to go in and literally just play with them. Let's see. We got neon, tree line, gelatin, lily pad. Oh, that's nice. Oceanography. They got loads of these, you know, color palettes. That's the thing, too, is I have a lot of people that tell me, like, oh, it's so hard for me to choose my colors. Well, now you don't have to. They've got it chosen right here for you. Okay, let's go candy store. It's a candy-ish kind of cake, right? All right, let's have fun with this. Let's go ahead and do serpentine. Let's check that out. Oh, that's kind of fun. Got these little hatch lines on it. But see, sometimes if you just want to relax and just kind of like mindlessly fill it in, it's a great way to do that. The fill sticks with the black. You can change where in the shape you click the metallic fill. Select metallic, hold the pen around, and move the shape with it. Oh! Joba says, I'm gonna go. I don't expect I will use this ever, but it's very cool. Okay, awesome. Oh, there you go. We could do that. Bye, Jobeth. Yeah, Kimmy says, hangouts with Philip for digital stream. That could be fun. I've had Procreate for months, but haven't had the time to learn. Too much. Oh, most definitely, Donna. It can be a little bit overwhelming. But if you rewatch it back at the beginning of the stream, we went over some little key aspects if you're wanting to play with it a little bit. All right, well, let's grab metallic. We'll do what Philip suggested here. Let's do it here. Ah, there you go. See? If you place it and then move it around, then you can control where the metallic is. There you go. Let's see if it's the same for like pillow. Yeah, there you go. It's the same for pillow. That's nice. Let's see, let's check braid, because braid also does that kind of thing. So it's like you're moving the light around a little bit. So say you're placing something, you're like, oh, I meant to do it over there. You can just hold it down and drag it around so you decide where you want it to be. This is fade here. Oh, here, let's. Can you do the same with fade or no? Oh yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, you can do the same thing with fade. Yeah, looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Put some flowers on the cake. But really, it just makes it so that you can just kind of play with it. Yeah, I see. I think that's one thing I wish that they would change, because, I mean, I know it's supposed to be metallic, but oh, look at that. See, you can do that on top of the floral. So let's do, there you go. Maybe some green up here. So yeah, the best way to learn any of these apps is honestly just to check it out. And like I said, there's the and I'm not getting anything from this. This is just literally from me to you if this is something that you want to play with. So you can check your colors down here, and even if you select color, then you can check your slider. Put it in that way. If you want to erase it, just up that and see. So yeah, there if you want to try out all the different pages that they have to offer, there's the free trial subscription for it and everything. But if you are really wanting something kind of on the go, just to color for fun, then the Pigment app I highly recommend. If you're trying to do something more in depth, try Bloom Fill, same as Fade, but in a radius around the cursor. Okay, let's see. Let's grab Bloom Fill. Okay, Bloom. Ah, there you go. So this is Bloom Fill. You could get that, so this could be kind of a solution to the metallic thing. So you can, you know, raise it. So here, let's put this more in the middle. There you go. Because you know what you could do too. All right, let's fill it with just fill. Okay. We're gonna try something. This will be fun. We're gonna fill this bottom layer of the cake with just a pink. Okay. Boom. It's full. Now we can take Bloom Fill. I think this will work. All right, let's get a little bit darker pink. Okay. Place it in the middle of the cake. And now we've created our own gradient. See, we've got the pink on the outside with the darker pink in the middle, okay? So, excuse me. So let's go to our recent colors here. All right, recent colors with this pink. We're gonna do the same on the top, okay? Let's fill. Let's choose our solid fill. Okay, actually, let's erase this first. Okay, erase that there. All right, solid fill of just this light pink. Okay, now we're gonna go to, where'd it go? This pink here. Okay, and we're gonna use Bloom Fill. Note to all, yeah, Pigment is a subscription-based app. They add free coloring pages daily. You can go free, but it limits what tools you can use. Yes, exactly. But if it's something you use frequently, then I think it could be worth the investment. All right, so now we're going to do Bloom again. We'll go in the middle so it's similar to the other one. And now we can adjust our gradient like so. And now it's similar to the lower layer of the cake, see? Okay, I'll be honest, I've never actually colored this page. I've always had it black and white, but I really enjoy it colored, actually. I mean, my free subscription is up tomorrow, but I think I'm definitely going to have to finish this page today. Let's see, and just to mention again, you can get very advanced with the pencil tool and varying your opacity and brush size, or use Apple Pencil. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly what he says, because you've got all the different sizes, you've got the opacity changes, and everything. So, let's see. Pixite, the peeps that make Pigment, have their own YouTube channel. Oh, cool. Okay, we'll have to check that out. And in fact, actually, because they kind of sponsored, or not sponsored, sorry. They mentioned this in their story. Philip, why don't you go ahead and share their YouTube channel and chat here, so they can check it out. So, and honestly, you made a, you changed me a bit, Philip. I mean, I hadn't used Pigment app much, but it is so much more user-friendly when you're trying to color a page for getting the subscription. I just want to see some people make more advanced drawings using Pigment, which I can't. Oh yeah, and there's some serious stuff in there. Like if you go to, you know, even the library, because I think they've got some colored stuff for home. Okay, here we go. So like they've got, you know, new books out and everything, but you can just see how intense some of these can get. Oh, this one's all about the dark crystal, but you know, you can see a preview of just how intensely colored they are. You know what I might do, just because it's fun? Maybe I'll put some files like in PNG form in the Facebook. Well, no, I don't know that enough people color with Pigment app, but yeah, PNG files for it. It's just, I was thinking I've got letters exactly like this. I have to pull them up. Yeah, so Pigment app is a subscription-based coloring app, Donna, but you can color on Procreate too. When you rewatch the stream, go back to the beginning, and we've talked it about a little bit. Let's pull these up here real quick. So we were kind of going over how to color using, you know, reference photos and all of that. So yeah, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. But you can see, like, on this one, like, I started coloring and we've got, you know, some sort of gradient on here. So yeah, if you go back to the beginning, you'll see it. In YouTube, search for Pixide. Okay, there you go. Ignore the assembly videos, for example. Oh yeah, there you go. But yeah, so if you are wanting to just color and just relax, I most definitely recommend the Pigment app. I mean, her hair would be so much fun to color. And like Philip said, it's great because if you have the iPad or the pencil, you can just take it with you. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good fun. That was that one, but I'm definitely gonna, I think, want to finish this one. This one is fun. See, I have loads of coloring pages. I should just bring them all in here. Anyway, I think that about pretty much covered the basics of what I know about Pigment. Like I said, I've only been playing with Pigment for about a week. And, you know, again, I'm not, you know, I don't know everything about Procreate. The best way to learn is to just get in there and fiddle with it. The great thing about digital is that, you know, you can just hit undo if you make a mistake. You know, it's low stress. It's not a big deal. So, like I said, the apps we went over today are the Procreate app, the Amaziograph app, and the Pigment app. Okay, so Amaziograph was if you just want to, you know, relax, making mandalas. My kids just actually like to play with it because they can always just make designs, you know. Sometimes it's fun just to see how much you can do until you fill it in all with black. And then, you know, the great thing, you can just hit undo. Solve the problem. So yeah, Amaziograph is great if you just want to, you know, have fun making mandalas. Oh, she's partnered with an app for her drawings? I didn't know that. Do you know which app she's partnered with, Donna? And then we covered the Procreate app, which has got, you know, all the fun stuff. Great for, like, here, this is, I'm working on a new page for my color chart. So I created this mandala in there. And then I think I'm going to make more, like, that are around it and stuff. And then, of course, Pigment app. I think it's color therapy, but too expensive for me. Oh, I'll have to ask her about that. Yeah, Donna, we talked about Amaziograph a little bit. And it's literally just something if you want to just have fun creating mandalas. So here, you have like mirror, mandala, rotation, kaleidoscope. Here, we'll open up a kaleidoscope and you can check that out. So you can see it's got all these grids on here. And you could just create those things. It's really just, it's therapeutic is what it is. It's just relaxing, you know? So there's kaleidoscope. Let's see here. Let's hit undo. And let's choose a different one here. That's the kaleidoscope one. And then let's see. Let's choose. You can do more symmetries here. So you can select a different symmetry. Let's see. Squares and rotation. This has got loads of them on here. So then you can just... Something just oddly satisfying about filling in all those spaces. Or you can just do something simple like the mirror. And then you can adjust the grid. So if you don't want it horizontal, you can make it vertical. That's a little off center, but you get the point. You know, like those ink blot pages, right? But that creates that. And then, okay, cool. I'll have to take a look at that. I didn't know she did that one. This is the mandala one. Okay. I've made a bunch of them here. This is where sometimes if I need ideas for mandalas, like I really like this one, the way this one turned out. It's a bit more intricate. There's that one, and then let's see. This one's simple, but I just like the way that it looks. All those lines. This one, I like how that one turned out. This one has a fair amount of detail. Let's see, this one here. Yeah, Maziograph is only 99 cents. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the other ones. There is a woman on Instagram, her name is Cooper Calligraphy, and I found a lot of these apps because of her. She's super talented. She does a lot of fun stuff. But yeah, I found a lot of these. This one's pretty detailed. Zoom in, you can see all the added stuff. Gotcha, Donna, gotcha. So, yeah. Like I said, you know, coloring is always just sort of meant to be fun and relaxing, and you know, if you don't want to, you know, it's just, especially for the Pigment app, you know, you can just fill in the spaces. So it's really just up to you and what it is that you want to do. But my basic consensus is, if you want to do illustrations and stuff, Procreate is great for it, as well as Adobe Illustrator, but to do Adobe Illustrator, you have to have a subscription to Illustrator, and not everybody has that. But Procreate is great because you can download it as a PSD, a PNG, a JPEG, whatever you need. So for illustrations and stuff, highly recommend Procreate. If you're wanting to just relax, fill in the spaces, I'd go with Pigment. I mean, yes, it's a subscription. Oh, didn't mean to do it. It's a subscription one, but if that is something that you're interested in, then I'd say it's worth it. And then if you're wanting to just relax with making some mandalas, I use a Maziograph. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that, Kimmy. I'm curious about it. I'll look it up after we're done. So I think that's about it for the digital stream. Did anybody have any questions or anything else they wanted me to go over before we left? Hopefully that lived up to the hype there for you, Philip. I know I don't know absolutely everything on it, but I do know the basics enough to like help everybody kind of, you know, poke their way around it and figure out if it's something that they want to do or something that works for them. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think that works. So let's see, anything else? All right, tomorrow night we are going to be 8:30 Central Time. We're going to be finishing up our Rachel, well, not finishing up. We're going to be working more on our Rachel Reinert page. We should be done with that Wednesday. And then Friday, we'll start our new Daydreams page using pencils and fine liners. I'll probably put the poll in the Facebook group on Wednesday for everybody to vote for which page that they want. It's a monthly subscription, so I haven't used it. Okay, there you go. Oh, there's some free stuff? All right, well, I'll have to check it out. I'm curious. Let's see. Yeah, August 23rd, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. is going to be the Disney Streamathon. Loads of new coloring charts in the Facebook group, but hopefully this kind of gave you all some insight a little bit to digital coloring. If, yeah, no problem, Kimmy, if this is something that you're interested in. And aside from that, yeah, everyone have a lovely rest of your weekend, and I will talk to all of you Monday night, all right? Everybody have a great night. Philip, thank you again for this suggestion on all of your help with everything like that. And yeah, we will see you all around. Everyone have a great day. Bye.